I've always struggled in the mental aspect, and I struggle a lot more now. And that's one of the reasons why I kind of put running on the back burner the last few years. But I've been really good about staying focused on, you don't need to hit the paces you once hit a few years ago. Let's bring them back to a more reasonable pace that takes you out of your comfort zone, but not so much that you're, struggling to get yourself out the door. You're beating yourself up so much you can't finish your runs. Trying to find a balance that's a goal and an exciting goal, but not stressful.
Yeah.
Because I want to do this for fun this fall.
Yeah.
Texas miles, Texas pride, we rise together through their stride.
Welcome back to Through Their Stride, a podcast about runners in the Lone Star State. I'm your host, Sam Sutton, and today I'm joined by someone with an incredible story of returning to the sport of running with a totally new mindset. I'm sitting down with Jackie Mancuso, a vineyard manager, marathoner, and a runner who's currently building toward the California International Marathon after taking a few years off. Jackie opens up about something a lot of runners deal with but rarely talk about: the negative thoughts that creep in during training. Thoughts of not being capable, not being enough, and even feeling like a fraud, despite the fact that she's a Boston marathoner and has a PR from New York City, which is one of the hardest courses that I know of. But this build is different. Jackie is letting the running come to her. She's focusing on fun, joy, and taking the pressure off of the process. And it's completely reshaped the relationship with the sport. This conversation is honest, it's vulnerable, and it's a reminder that even the most accomplished runners battle their own minds. I can't wait for you to hear it. Let's get into it. So, welcome to episode 10 of Through Their Stride. I'm your host, Sam Sutton, and I'm joined by Jackie Mancuso. Is that correct?
That's right.
Awesome. And Jackie, you're going for what number marathon is this? And this is at California International. Is that correct?
This is at California International. Let's see. I think this is 8.
Oh, wow.
I haven't thought about that yet. But yeah, my fourth California International. So it's kind of a hometown race, born and raised in California, the Bay Area. And prior to coming to Texas almost 5 years ago, I ran for a running group that was based in Sacramento. So a good portion of my running started in Sacramento, and that's where my team is. My teammates still reside, and so going home to run with my teammates will be exciting.
Awesome. And it's California International Marathon. What is that course like? I've heard about it a lot. I've heard it's kind of a downhill course. What is it? Rolling hills? What is it like?
Yeah, so a lot of people think of it very similar to Boston, actually. It is net downhill. So I would say the first half of the marathon is rolling with a good portion going down, shorts up. The second half flattens out with a small incline just after, your 20-mile mark. So a good course for Boston qualifying and a good course for beginners to take on the marathon. It was my first marathon in 2017, and it was my first Boston qualifying marathon in 2018.
Oh, wow. Oh, so that was really quick from 17 to 18.
Oh, yeah. And I got addicted to I got the running bug real fast. So I picked up running maybe 2016, something around there. And a typical post-college girl that wants to get healthy. And so I've always been a gym person and added running with some of my friends, and we started with a 10K, then we did a half marathon, and they dropped off and I kept going. I love the challenge of adding on additional mileage, adding each week more mileage, higher mileage was really exciting and fun and challenging. And so, I went for the marathon, and just like every marathoner, I said I would never do that again and signed up very soon for another one. So.
Yeah. What was your first marathon like? What was your time? And as far as like struggles that did you come up on any struggles that you were kind of unaware of that you were like, oh, that's harder than expected?
Yes, I'm not very good with pacing still to this day. So I like to go fast, and then I burn out. I would say my first marathon I ran in 4 hours and 7 minutes, and all of my training was from a plan I downloaded off the internet. I had not joined a team yet. So, I didn't do multiple 20 milers. I think I did one. I probably didn't run, the proper training plan style. I don't know. But I would say I've always struggled in the mental aspect, and I struggle a lot more now. And that's one of the reasons why I put running on the back burner the last few years. But the mental aspect has been a challenge for me. I'm like 20 miles in. I'm like, why am I doing this?
Yeah.
It's not fun.
Yeah. I mean, I think every runner at 20 miles is like, well, I still have a 10K to go. What the heck is this?
But yeah, I've gotten better about being like, all right, I got 20 minutes left, or I got 30 minutes left, and breaking it down to the minutes. Just yesterday or 2 days ago, I went out on a short run in the afternoon, and I was like, I'm just going to do 3-4 miles. And I was ready to just, pack it in at 3 miles. And I was like, 1 more mile is 8 minutes. You can do 8 more minutes. Like, it's not that big of a deal. So yeah, it's breaking it down and breaking down the barriers I have in my head.
Yeah. Yeah. So going into the more deep into the mental game and the mental space, for me, when if it's a bad run or if it's like a speed workout that I'm looking at, that I'm like, I don't know about that one. You know what I mean? Like, it does tend to get me if I'm not able to make that switch in my head of like, no, you got this. It's okay. You've done these places. Like, I'll get halfway in and I'm like, I can't. I'll be stopping or like jogging. And I have a bad habit of pausing the watch whenever I'm like need a break. And my coach was like, "Stop pausing the watch. You can go slower, and I'm not going to be mad at you." What is the mental for you? What are the challenges that come up in your head, and what have you done over your running career to get better at overcoming those?
To be honest, I think I'm getting worse. But so I will say I put a lot of pressure on myself in everything that I do. I like to be very organized, very prepared for anything in my life. So when it comes to just your weekly speed work or weekly long runs, I'm starting to think about it 2-3 days in advance, and I get that pressure built up on me. And so that morning, it's a little bit hard to get myself out the door because, yeah, I'm looking at these paces and thinking, this is going to be hard. Or, I got five reps of this. So how am I going to do this? That's 5 miles of speed work. And so this training session that I'm in currently is strictly for me to just enjoy it. So I'm a farmer, and I started a farming company when I got to Texas, and farming is pretty busy from January to October.
For sure.
And we got to start at sunrise, and Texas, it's hot. So if you're not running at sunrise, you're not running unless you're Caleb Dale, who likes to go out at 3 p.m. and run in 100 degrees.
Yeah.
But I don't. So yeah, it is been hard for me to stay focused on personal goals or running because I am putting my professional career first.
Which is not a bad thing.
No, it's not, but I've done it this cycle before, and I've had to remind myself that work-life balance is really a requirement to be healthy. This fall, I'd really pushed myself to find something that's not work-related to focus on. Shortly before the farming season ended, I decided I wanted to run the marathon. I have a lot of experience in training plans. I still have access to a lot of training plans. And so I just picked, an intermediate one. I didn't go for the advanced. And I told myself, we don't need to PR. Those days might be behind us. So let's just go out there and see how much fitness we can get back if we want to do this, if we're enjoying it. And then, of course, CIM was sold out. So I had to wait for the transfer period in hopes that I could find somebody that wanted to transfer their bib. And I did, which made things real. Then I was like, okay, we're really doing this. And so I've been really good about staying focused on, you don't need to hit the paces you once hit a few years ago. Let's bring them back to a more reasonable pace that takes you out of your comfort zone, but not so much that you're, struggling to get yourself out the door. You're beating yourself up so much you can't finish your runs. Trying to find a balance that's a goal and an exciting goal, but not stressful.
Yeah.
Because I want to do this for fun this fall.
Yeah.
So it's been good. Texas is so hard to train in, and I constantly complain about that. We have high humidity, which coming out of California, I'm not used to at all. Much warmer temps to start our mornings, and no running trails.
Not in Fredericksburg.
No stakes. No real running clubs. I was part of the run group for a while. Aaron and Caleb kind of moved away, and they were the part of the club, and so it kind of dispersed. I also couldn't make it because of work, so I wasn't there to support them either. But yeah, so training in Fredericksburg is a challenge itself.
It is.
But it's fun to explore the town on foot because I do that every day.
Yeah. Talking about places to train for in Fredericksburg, if you ever need a 20-miler, it's not in Fredericksburg, it's actually in Harper.
Okay.
But I've done my 20-milers from Harper to Kerrville on this like back road highway that goes straight from Harper to Kerrville. And of course, my wife has to pick me up at Charlotte, but it's one of the prettiest like views running a 20-miler. Every time I go out there, I'm not sure if you're a religious person, but like I can like feel God or something out there every time I go. So if you ever needed a 20-miler to look,
maybe we can go on a run out there and at least explore some of it.
Yeah, for sure.
I'm hoping my 20-milers are in the bag for the year.
Yes.
I have 16, something like that on deck for this weekend for a training plan. But I have a mental block where I want to go on a long country road to run, but I feel like if I fail, if I need a bathroom, if I need more water, I'm not able to access this. So I've gotten like a crutch in staying close to home, close to Fredericksburg. So I've made loops,
Yeah.
And then I got to a point where I was like, okay, we're just doing the loops. We're taking all the thinking out of it. And then I'm like, no, that's getting boring. So, I've been doing larger loops in different areas of town, but yeah, and it's good. I mean, Tuesdays, Wednesdays, Thursdays, whatever day I decide to do track each week, I go to the track. The football team's going, so it's fun to have, just them running and me on the track.
Yeah.
So it's good. It's a fun little small town community to train in.
Yeah. Yeah. I'll sometimes go out on the track on the in the mornings, and my friend Reed Graff is a coach at the Fredericksburg High School.
Yeah.
And so I'll try to get out early because of work, but then if it's a long speed workout, I'll be ending while they're coming out, and Reed will be like, go. It's always so,
Yeah.
Oh yeah. But, so for you, this has been kind of a for fun training plan, but what is probably the fastest marathon that you've had over the, over your career? And what is your favorite marathon course that you've been on?
Good question. I ran a 322, 323, something like that in New York. And that still today is my favorite course. I don't know if it's related to the PR, but the course itself was just one to remember. I mean, the different boroughs, the 5 different boroughs, the bridges, the spectators, the way the city comes alive for the whole weekend, the largest marathon in the world, just everything together was just like, wow, this is something to be a part of, running through Central Park. So I'm not a big city girl by any means, but that was a really fun weekend. And I ran New York for the Pink Agenda. So I did a fundraiser. I had qualified to get in by time, but I wanted to raise money for breast cancer awareness. So we did that, and it was great. I had a great time. I've done Boston, and Boston's also one to remember. It's a hard course. People talk about Heartbreak Hill and, miles 17 to 20 and how they can be, a break in your marathon, and they forget to remind you that the first half of the marathon is net downhill with pretty good rollers, and you're excited, so you're running faster than you should be, and it eats you alive when you hit those big hills in the later miles. Um, Boston was fun, but I would like to do it again. And secretly, I'm somewhat training to qualify for Boston in this CIM. I'm trying not to put that pressure on myself. I'd like to end this marathon with a grateful heart and happy, smile on my face. And if it's not my day, just be happy to be out there. But it would be awesome to qualify for Boston and qualify with a buffer so I could get in, because you almost need 5 minutes.
Yeah, like
So,
to 7.
yeah. So, yeah, qualifying might be possible, but getting in is the next thing you have to think about. And so, if I were to get in, I'd probably apply because it would be fun to give it another go. After I ran it my first time, I was like, I don't think I need to do that again. And, it's been almost 5 years, and I'm ready to try it again.
Yeah. Do you think going back to your hometown marathon and is any of your family or friends from back there coming over to see? You said some of your running teammates are coming to see you, but is any family coming to watch?
Yeah, so I will have friends and family there, which is exciting. My husband's coming back with me, but also just teammates will be out there on the course running. We are a larger running club, but Sacramento has a lot of running clubs, kind of like Austin or San Antonio. And so I think CIM is probably 15,000 runners. So it's big, but it's not big. Yeah. So it'll be great because, when I joined the club, the running boom was pretty big. And I felt like maybe in the last 3 years, it's kind of fizzled out a little bit, or my age has slowed down and moved into other areas of fitness goals. And so those ladies are still active runners, but they have stopped marathoning. But they love this day, and so they'll be out on the course cheering for me, which will be awesome.
That's so fun.
Yeah.
And then you said you had taken a few years off of running, and what has kind of brought you back in? What were some things that made you think, yeah, I want to take it back up again?
Well, I've always loved it. Go ahead.
Oh, and when did you decide to take a break? What was that year, and how was that decision made?
Yeah. Let's see. So I started Atlas Vineyard Management here in Fredericksburg in 22. We moved to Texas in 21. I started it in 22. And so I would say roughly 22, 23 is when my running kind of took a back seat. I did run Chicago in 24, but it was a pieced together training block. It was not ideal. I don't recommend running a marathon untrained. It was really painful and long. But so I tried to keep running there, but it wasn't daily. It wasn't weekly. Mileage was less than 20 on a good month. So running work really took control of my life in 23, I would say. And so this year, I decided I'm working way too many hours, and I needed to find something that I could take the last quarter of the year off and focus on. Yeah, I think that was the answer to your question.
Yeah, that's awesome. And then I also wanted to ask you a little bit about your work and about your passions outside of running. Obviously, viticulture is really big. Do you own this winery, or you just manage it, or how?
No, so I work for a company that's based in Napa. It's called Atlas Vineyard Management. Atlas is one of the largest vineyard management companies in probably the world, but at least the United States. We farm Oregon, Washington, California, and I started the Texas division in 22. And so I've gone to school for plant science and agriculture and been doing farming for about 20 years. And so when I came to Texas, I just thought it would be no troubles to get a job in viticulture, which I found it was a trouble. It was a struggle, and people were not interested in hiring. People in Texas in this area have small acreage, So they do it themselves, or they use their wine club or their tasting room staff. And so they weren't taking it very seriously, which was kind of a direct result of our wine quality to some extent. Some people were taking it more serious than others, but trying to find labor to help these growers was not, there was no labor. There still is no labor. So after sitting here for a year and working for a winery, I was in the cellar, and those people were great, but not for me. I don't work in square feet. I work in acres. I work outside. So after getting over the hump of working in Texas heat and humidity and realizing I could do it, I took on the task of finding a way to start a vineyard management company here in Texas. That's a very popular thing in California and other states that we grow wine. So starting Atlas was something I thought would benefit us down here really well. And so I started Atlas in 2022, and I brought in men from Mexico. Okay. And so I use a program called H2A. It's a government program. And so in 2022, I had 7 men that I brought in. They worked for me. And this will be our 5th season in 2026. And I'll have roughly 27, 28 men that I'll bring in from Mexico. So we do not own any properties. We manage other people's properties. So think of it as like a lawn care service. They call us up and they say, we need you to take care of our vineyard entirety, the whole thing, start to finish. Customer is not really part of the process. Or they call us up and they say, we need you for a day and we need you to do this task. So we do both options, and so it's fun. It's great. I get to be on all the different properties in the area. We work the entire state. I do travel a lot. We focus here in the Hill Country, but we have clients throughout the entire state that we service. So yeah, we go out all the way out to Fort Davis. We go up to the Oklahoma border. We go to Houston. We go to the High Plains. Awesome. So my men are here for roughly 10 months. And when I take them to the different parts of the state, it's fun because I rent an Airbnb for them. And then, it's like a little mini vacation for them. They get to see another part of the state. They get to enjoy a little time away from their home here. So it's a win-win for everybody.
Awesome.
Yeah, it's really fun. It's really good. It's a passion. It is a lot of hard work, stressful at times. People's crop is on your shoulders. Hail, wind, frost, diseases, all of that is under my watch.
Yeah.
So it's farming. It's stressful.
Yeah. Do you feel like farming and that stress and the thought of like, this could be a good crop, this could be a bad crop, and it just takes patience to grow. Do you feel like that patience kind of helps you running and that kind of like always having that on your mind and working? Do you feel like there's some like relation there? Like,
Yeah.
That patience is needed also in running, but
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. Yeah, we start in January with a new season of farming, and we go, roughly 7-8 months to harvest. You get 1 crop a year. It's kind of like marathon training. Not too many of us do more than 1 marathon in a year. It's usually a 3 to 4 month cycle. You spend all this time prepping your body, doing all the right things, and hoping that come race day, you have the weather, you have the energy, you're not sick. Same thing with harvest. The July 4th rains that we got, those hit 2 to 3 weeks before harvest start. And that's, 30 inches of rain on crop that is ready to be harvested. Very, very stressful, very, very stressful. So, when it comes to traveling to these marathons that are not here locally, you don't sleep in your own bed, you have to take an airplane, you're taking a chance in hopes that you can arrive to the start line healthy after putting in all the work. And I have not arrived to the start line healthy the last couple marathons.
Oh, really?
Oh, no. I am hoping these last 3 weeks that life is safe. I don't have children. We don't do a whole lot of, things that cause me to be around people that might affect me. So we should be good.
Yes.
I'm typically a healthy person.
Yeah.
Just have to, all the, we're at the point in the training cycle where everything hurts.
Yes.
I'm hungry. I'm eating everything and just trying to keep my body healthy and mind straight. And
Yeah.
I don't know.
I was gonna say you're technically, I guess, in your taper now, because you're done with your 20 milers.
Yeah.
Have the taper crazy started to set in?
I'm one of those ones that's like, okay, I can relax now. I'm not built. Yeah. I don't get, oh God, I'm cutting back my mileage. I'm going to lose everything. No, I don't get like that. I more probably get a little more extreme on the other end of like, oh, I can miss this run. Oh, I can do this, because I'm already trained,
Yeah.
so
Not gonna lose or
yeah, that should probably need to be a little less relaxed in my tapers, to be honest, but it's good. I've gone overtrained into races and I've gone undertrained into races. I don't think you're ever going to make it perfect. Well, at least I haven't made it perfect yet. I would say New York, I was pretty perfect, but yeah, I was supposed to run a tough mudder or not a tough mudder. One of those like relay races where you start in we were supposed to start in San Francisco and end in Napa, but California was on fire and they canceled it because of air quality. And so that was like 10 days, 14 days before New York. And so I was in peak shape and I was excited for that. That got canceled, but I was in really good shape. I was looking at some pictures recently and I was like, man, I had a six pack. I've got it all. Running does the body good.
Yeah. This past marathon for me, I was hoping to break 4 hours, and I did. It was back in July in Utah,
Excellent.
and I was like, not just running, but I was weightlifting like 3 times a week.
Yeah.
And
Maybe
really focusing on it. And yeah, you don't really realize how much weightlifting makes a difference until you do it a full cycle, and then you run your race, and you're like, oh, I have leg strength. Like, look, this is.
It really does make a difference, and I think that was probably a good thing with New York. I had a good balance of running and gym, and it showed. My muscles were, there. I'm not necessarily as much in the gym. I try to go once a week.
Yeah.
I love the gym, but yeah, I have a hard time finding enough time in my day to do a run and a gym on the same day. So it's one or the other. And I prioritize mileage over strength,
Okay.
like every runner. So
It's just more fun.
yeah, I always am like, I got to get more miles. I got to get more miles. But running with a few people this training cycle, they have told me that more mileage isn't the answer for everyone. And that maybe my body is going to do better with less mileage. So I would say the last month or so, I've been trying to prioritize quality over quantity. So getting the track workout in, getting the long workout in. But if I'm too tired or I want to do something else that day, easy miles are the ones I don't prioritize as much.
Yeah. Just listen to your body.
Yes.
Recovery is not always just running. Like,
Yes.
people are like, oh, it's a recovery run. But some days there's like, I understand that, but I'm pretty gassed right now. I would like to just sit on the couch and eat potato chips. So yeah.
Yes, I'm mentally and physically, I think that recovery is super important and everybody is going to do it different.
Yeah. And you said you're a mileage fan of high mileage. What is your peak mileage? What do you usually
See, this time it's not, but I would say in my previous marathons, I did around 65 miles a week. I think I peaked around 50 this time, which is great because I started with 0. I mean, I wasn't even running before I started this training cycle. Every mileage, on my watch, I'd hit 4 miles without walking, or I would hit 6 miles without walking. And I got so excited just to hit 4 miles and 6 miles and then, 20 miles for the week. It was like, I'm getting it back. And so I'm proud of the 50 miles.
awesome? Yeah. No, I highest mileage I've gotten ever was this last one. I did 45, 46, and my coach is a big believer in not high mileage, more of a balance between like weightlifting and running. So she's a big CrossFit person. So like that's how that kind of evens out. But yeah, I'm curious to see if she'll bump my mileage up this coming build because I'm training for Austin in February.
Oh, fun.
Yeah, and I'm hoping to break 340. And of course, I've run Austin before. It was my first marathon. It's so hilly.
It is.
So have you run all?
Done the half.
Okay.
I've done the half, which when I ran that big hill at the ends, it's Rosy Ike. What? Who made this course? This is crazy. People are actually, and so I finished my half and, hung out for a little bit because it was not more than an hour later that the first marathoners were coming in. And I'm like, this is crazy. But yeah, I did 3M and Austin half a couple years ago before I, threw in the towel for consistent running. And I love 3M. It's still my PR.
Yeah.
And Austin was great, but more hilly.
Yeah.
More hilly.
Yeah. I'll be curious to see how it is this year. When I did it my first time in 2023, my friend Brett and I kind of lightly trained. We didn't, I didn't know anything about how much running I needed. We didn't fuel at all. We took 0 gels. We relied on course hydration, which was all Noon, like a Noon hydration.
Yeah, I love Noon.
Yeah.
But I don't train with it and I don't use it on course.
Yeah. And we never found actual water, so it was just Noon that we were taking the whole time. And by mile 17, I was like, I can't do this. So we finished in like 6 hours and 50 some odd minutes, and I was walking it in like just dying, but you learn as you go. So with my knowledge that I have now.
Should you run with a handheld, the best?
I will go with the best. Okay. So I do water in one side and then water with electrolytes in the other. And then just carry gels on me.
Yep.
Yep.
Yeah, I always did gels. And then when I returned to running this last training cycle, I popped a gel and I was like, ooh, no, I can't do those anymore. So I switched over to blocks. I love candy, so blocks taste like candy to me. But, I wore a vest when I would run trails in California, and I was fine with the vest. But here in Texas, it's so hot.
Yes.
And it doesn't matter who you are, what size body you are, you chafe no matter what. And so I just was afraid to wear my vest because of the chafing. And finally, some of these longer runs, I said I needed more water. I'm cramping. It's too hot. It's too humid. So I put the vest on and I put the vest on for my first 20. And I was like, you know what? Of the first 3 miles, I hated it.
Yeah.
And then I was like, if you still hate it by the 7th mile, you could take it off.
Yeah.
And that's, being close to my truck or wherever I'm starting point is, it's nice to be able to have that option.
For sure.
But so I did a couple runs with my vest. And then one of my last 20s, we had that cold front come through. And I was like, you know what? I'm doing no hydration. I'll run with a handheld on race day. And that's what I've always done in marathons. But I didn't want any distractions. I just wanted the run to go well.
Yeah.
And so I run the downtown area and get water at Marketplace. I run up Adams and get water at the tennis courts. So I try to keep my loops to 30 minutes, 45 minutes at most to my next water station. And so I can take a gel and get water. And so I will run with something in my hand for race day, but I didn't want any distractions or any issues, hiccups for my training run. So and it went well. It went really well.
Yeah. Want to hear a crazy running story that I actually haven't told on the podcast yet? So, talking about getting hydration and not carrying anything with you, I used to do that because I was like, I don't think I want to wear the vest because of chafing, because of extra weight, I'm just not sure that. So I would plant water on the side of the road the night before.
Yeah.
And I'd hide like the bottles maybe in bushes or off the side of the road. One time I found a little circle that was like cut out or like broken out in like asphalt, and I put it there and it was stuck, and it was there the next day. But this is my crazy story. I had a 14 miler to do, and I was running Gaiman Lane.
Okay.
And got a 5K in, and I was ready for my first bottle, and I knew I was coming up for it. So I ran over, and I'm looking for it. It's like early in the morning. It's like 5 o'clock in the morning, and I'm looking, And for a second, I can't find it. So I'm kind of like this lost person in the side of the road, you know what I mean? Finally, I get it. And I have a handheld because, like, just to keep if I can't find a bottle or something.
Yes.
And so I'm pouring it into my handheld. And this SUV comes up and he's like, "Who are you? What are you doing?" And I was like, "Oh, sorry, sir. And I'm just training for a marathon. I have a log run and I had a water." And I'm like coming close to him and he pulls a gun on me. And he was like, "Don't come any closer." And I'm like,
Oh, wow.
and I was like, "Oh, sorry, dude. Like, I'm just,"
Yeah, he's just trying to
froze. And he was like, "Well, I'm not going to shoot you, but I just want you to know that there's some bad people out here and you need to be like aware." I've run this road 1,000 times.
Yeah, no, that's where I live. My first 2.5 years here, and I ran a lot there.
Yeah. And as he said, when he said, "I'm not going to shoot you," he still had like the gus up, but I'm like, "Can you like, put," and yeah, so he drove off after talking to me and telling me all that. And I didn't get his like license number. I should have, but I was so stunned that I was just like,
Totally.
and still ended up running the rest of the run, but like,
Good for you.
Yeah.
I would have been like, I'm done.
yeah,
Here's my excuse out for the day.
yeah. So, but that was the moment I decided I'm like, I'm never planting water again. Like,
You know, that's funny because I keep telling myself, like, put some water bottles out. It's Fredericksburg. Nobody's going to touch it.
sorry, I just get
Yeah.
just some.
Yeah, but I mean, like, I have so many of these water bottles. Like, it would be perfect to just put one out, you know, over off Frederick's Son, Lower Crabapple, Pike, like all these streets that you go out and you're out there for a little bit.
Yeah.
No, I keep telling myself every time I go on a run, like, just plant some water bottles and then you don't have to stress about getting back to the fountain.
Yeah. Well, and I've done it like several times. I used to do it on Crabapple a lot, and I never had a problem there.
Yeah.
And yeah, there's pretty strategic places out there you to plant stuff.
Yeah.
So I don't not recommend it. It was just some
Every funny story.
Yeah.
Not funny, but crazy story for sure. No, when we first moved here, we moved to the RV park on Gaiman. So I would leave the RV and run all the way to 290 and then back. And it was a perfect 10-miler and beautiful.
Yeah.
But the problem is it's all downhill going out and it's all uphill coming back.
Yes. Yeah, there's a lot of hills out here, and I was gonna say, I guess you're pretty familiar with hills in California, because
Little bit, but I mean, Sacramento, they have this beautiful bike path, American River Parkway. And so a hill is like 3 feet
yeah,
up. And so you can run 100 miles on this parkway and then turn around and run back. And so it goes, you know, from Roseville all the way down to Lower Sac. And so it's great because you're out there training with the rest of the community, a lot of cyclists. Cyclists and runners don't like each other, so you have to fight that battle. But it is a great training area. And this time of year, everybody's training for CIN. So you're on the path with good company here. Everybody's cheering everybody on.
that's cool.
But California has its fair share of homeless communities. And so, you know, that path is home to a lot of homeless as well. So you want to make sure you're in groups and, you know, safe.
Yeah.
But it is something that I miss, having safe place to continuously run.
Yeah, trails are great. My mom moved out to Wichita Falls last summer, and they have a 20-mile biking and running trail that goes around the city. And but it's also like a lot of homeless downtown.
Yeah.
And there was a news report like a week before I went there to go see her that people were putting up like tripwire and like things to try to like get you so they could like,
Yeah.
I guess take your money or whatever.
Yeah.
And I was like, no, because I was like, I went to college in Wichita Falls, and at that time there wasn't that many homeless people. So I don't know how that kind of got worse, but I was like, it's not that bad. But then when I started running down there, there were a ton of like little pockets of homeless people, and I was like, oh, you gotta run their head on a swivel out here.
Yeah. I mean, it's been so nice to be in Fredericksburg, able to run at 5 a.m. or whenever I decide to. And there's a good community of us out there at that hour still, but
Yeah.
I'm grateful for our safe space.
Yes, that is a plus about living out here. It's very safe. You're not going to run into any mini crazies. Yeah, that's. I found one.
You found one.
But yeah, I'm curious, what is your like top 3 favorite spots to run in Fredericksburg?
I run them all because of distance right now, but I typically go out Adams all the way down and loop around the houses out there to Lower Crabapple, come back. I love going out to Round Mountain.
Oh,
Uh,
we're not that way.
Round Mountain?
Yeah, I've never. I'm like, I've never.
Yep, yep.
What is that at?
Oh, the Brown Mountain, Cross Mountain.
Cross Mountain. Okay.
Round Mountain is the town going 281, going to Arba Falls.
Yeah, I was like, never heard of that one.
Yeah, well, it's round, so it could be round. But Cross Mountain, I love Cross Mountain. Short, and when I'm trained and it's not too hot, I'll take Pike at a Kerr and go that loop. It's not that far, not that long, but I have gotten myself stranded out there with no water and untrained, so can feel long if you are out there on the wrong hours of the day. But I'm not afraid to run all the streets. Starting our time here in Fredericksburg, Damon was beautiful. I didn't appreciate it as much as I should have, but I do love Damon. It has some nice crossings. Too many cattle guards.
Yeah, there are a lot of cattle guards
for doing some speed work, but it's a pretty spot.
Yeah. Well, cool. Well, I think we've already gone well over 45 minutes, but this is, I've had a blast talking about this. So thank you so much for talking with me and sharing a little bit of your running story. If I can hit you with a few rapid fire questions and then we can.
I love it.
So,
Thank you.
So first off, what, if anything, are you binging right now, TV movie wise?
So we just got started on Handmaid's Tale.
Oh yeah.
Which, it's a big one. It's tough, very tough storyline. I don't watch a lot of TV because I don't have a lot of time in my days to spend in front of the TV. So when I select a show, I want it to be something that it grabs my attention and I'm not half on my phone, half watching it. So of course I'm super excited that Landman's back on. I love Landman.
I'm up with recommending me that one.
Sam, you have to watch it, especially being a Texan. You have to watch it.
Okay.
It's really good. Yeah, so Landman is definitely in the top 3. I don't watch a lot of TV.
Yeah, those are 2 good ones, though. Handmaid's Tale, we binged that one early 2025. And yeah, it was... There you go. We will watch a whole season in one day, and I told Monica that we got to get on this couch. Like, they've been sitting here too long, but it was so good.
It is really, it's really good. It's a great production. It's just really intense.
It is intense.
But yeah, I really like shows that have a good storyline or can grab me. But also just something silly. What's the one with Kristen Bell? 2nd season just came out.
2nd season. Is it on Netflix?
Yeah.
Is it Nobody Wants This?
Yes, that one's good. Nobody Wants This is good, funny. Yeah.
Good.
We are like an hour, maybe 2 at most in the evenings before bed.
Yeah. As a wine fan of wine and as someone who works in that industry, what is your favorite red wine, your favorite white wine, and then you would say the most quality type of red and white wine are?
Red wine, I spent a good portion of my time in Sonoma. And so Pinot Noir is in my heart, in my blood. I love it. Coming to Texas, that variety doesn't do well here. So the closest thing is probably a Mourvedre. And so I drink a lot of Mourvedre here in Texas, which we do really well. I don't drink a whole lot of white wine, but I like something a little more crisp. So Sauvignon Blancs or Pinot Grigios. And in Texas, we do a Picpoul Blanc, which is similar. And so I would say I would gravitate towards that if I were to have a white wine. And what was the last part of the question?
What do you think is the most quality wine type, I guess, here in Texas? What would you say, like, the best?
So we do a lot here in Texas. We grow a lot of varieties and we do a lot. And so the Spanish and the Italian varieties do well here.
Okay.
With our climate.
Makes sense.
So anything from Syrah, Tannat, Cabernet Sauvignon does well. It's just going to be a different style cab than what you would think would come out of California. And Sangiovese, they all do well. We do a lot of varieties here in Texas, and they are happy here.
Yeah. All right. Here in Fredericksburg, what is your favorite fine dining style restaurant? And then your favorite, like, it's a late night, I just, need a quick bite to eat, something that you can kind of, like, guilty pleasure, I guess.
Sure. Well, I'll start with that one first. We love Prometheus. We go down there like weekly.
Yeah.
So all things on the menu are excellent. Always in good company there. Great people. And then fine dining. We bounce back and forth between a few of them. Granite House is a favorite. We recently went to Cabernet Grill when we had family in town, and that was delicious. Hadn't hit that up in a long time.
I'm blanking on where Granite House is.
Granite House is off of Washington and Granite.
It's next to Sunset Grill. The new Sunset. Okay, it's that grill.
Yeah, it's delicious. So, yeah, I think Granite House is probably our go-to for something a little bit more upscale.
Yeah.
Excellent chicken fried steak.
I would say give me my opinion, but my top place in town
It's Martini's, actually.
Okay.
Yeah.
So my husband doesn't do fish.
Oh, okay.
And so I haven't gone into Martini's. I'm sure they have something off the menu that's not fish, but you go there to eat fish.
Yeah.
But that same owner owns Jack's,
Yeah.
which is great. Jack's is great as well.
There yet.
It's excellent as well.
Yeah, I went to we went to Maine back in 2023, and I discovered lobster rolls.
Okay.
I'm a huge fan of lobster rolls, and they do one like a Texas style one
Okay.
where it's like, I don't remember what's all on it, but it's some sort of like Cajun almost seasoning, and it's almost spicy, and I'm like, man, this is like the best type of lobster roll.
Did you see we're getting a new lobster roll restaurant
We are where?
on Main Street on the east side? So almost off Main Street, but I would say next to the Velvet Lounge.
Okay,
Next door.
next door. Okay,
Cool. Maybe a couple doors down.
yeah,
Yeah, on Main.
I'm excited for that.
Yeah.
And then what is your why for why you run? What is your kind of the deep thing that keeps influencing you and motivating you to run?
My why is because it's good for my heart and for my mind. I wish more people would give running the time, the chance. You start out running, it's very hard. It's very hard for multiple weeks, discouraging. But if you can get past that barrier, running is so good for the mind. And so I know how good it makes me feel. And the addiction to running is real. My husband is well aware how addicted I get to it when I get back into it. So I would say that my why is just to keep myself centered, and I like to run first thing in the morning. So starting my day with a run is the best thing ever.
Yeah, I agree with you, but I'm just not a morning person. And so about 4 a.m. alarm will ring, and I'm like, oh, I got to go back to bed. But if I can like force myself and pull myself off the bed, and then when I'm out on the roads, I'm like, oh no, this is
Yeah,
where it's at.
I agree. I don't know if it's age or what, or the fact that I have a cat and a dog. Well, 2 cats and a dog sitting on top of me, so my sleep is not as quality. But getting up for this train cycle has not been a struggle. I don't know why. But I mean, I get up at 4 a.m. for work, so getting up at 4 a.m. to go run is just a continuation of my work schedule. But something about getting your run done from 5 to 6 or 5 to 7, whatever, going home, taking a shower, and if it's a weekend or whatever, you're going back. You don't have to go anywhere, getting back in your pajamas
Oh, yeah.
before, the world has even started is so gratifying.
Yeah, I will say the weekend lawn rides I get up in the morning for, and I don't have problems with that.
Yeah.
Yes, it's like I know when I'm done, all I have to do is like hang out in the house all day. So those I have no problems. But when it's like a Tuesday and I have to go to the office, and I'm like, I can't do it. I can do it, but
I almost think it's opposite for me. Knowing that I have to get out the door for work makes it so I can't drag my feet.
There you go.
And on the weekends, I can drag my feet. And sometimes I drag my feet too much and it affects my run.
Yeah. And then my last question is, give everyone one reason. If you could give everyone one reason to go for a run today, what would it be?
Do it for yourself. That's why I do it. It's time away from electronics. I listen to books, podcasts, or music, but it's a good time to clear your head. You can have a conversation with yourself. You can brainstorm. You can tune out life. I think doing it for yourself is the most important thing.
Awesome. And actually, I have one last question. Monica actually told me to ask this, but if you could recommend 3 people to be on this running podcast, who would it be?
It's going to be a hard one because I don't know a whole lot of people in town.
Yeah. And Caleb actually recommended you.
So no, Caleb, Cody, and a few of those guys, are my running buds that I met here, which is a funny story. We're way over time, but it's part. I was trained for Boston, and it was the Kraut Run, I believe, and it was the year Boston was in the fall, and so it was like a week out for Boston, and I hadn't met anybody in town yet, and so I line up at the start line, and those guys are all around me. I don't know them; they don't know me, and they're all, who is this girl? I hope we're not racing her.
Yeah.
And so good old Strava linked us up at the end of the day, and we met, and we then started meeting for the club, and it's been fun. Fun to get to know those guys, and we don't see each other as often or as much anymore, but I was out on a run on Sunday a couple weeks ago, and Caleb was heading into church and was yelling at me, and so it's nice. I did get to pace one of them at Bandera one year, a couple years back. I think Caleb said he moved away, so he's gone. John Winstead.
Oh, I follow him on Strava. He follows me too.
Yeah. So I would say he's a good one. He does a lot of different things. He's into roaming, really, but he does enjoy running. He's in the wine industry with me, so he's a fun one.
Cool.
I don't know any females, to be honest.
Do you know Leanne Rominger?
I do.
Yes, I'm hoping to have her in the podcast. A couple of years ago, I tried to start this podcast, and I didn't have good audio and tools, and it ended up sounding horrible. So I'm kind of embarrassed to ask her again.
No, but you should do, Leanne, because she's into the tactical games right now. So she does a mix of running and, shooting. And so it would be a really different and unique podcast session.
She's going for High Rocks, too. I think High Rocks Dallas, that's coming up. And so I'd love to ask her a little bit about that, too. And yeah, the shooting kind of stuff that she does for those like shooting/running. I guess that's the
yeah. And she also started a run club, which I jump in every once in a while.
Yeah, I've actually seen you on the club before. We've been out there running. I think it was one day we did speed work.
Oh yeah. So yeah, maybe there's somebody on the club that would be interested as well.
Yeah, that'd be a good.
You should get
Back out to the club.
Yeah.
That's my motivation. So
There you go.
Leanne, if you're listening, I'll be back.
You'll be out next, Leanne.
All right. Thank you so much. I appreciate this.
This was fun.
Yeah.
Thank you for listening to this episode of Through Their Stride. I'm your host, Sam Sutton. And if you like this podcast, please give it a follow and a review. That really helps me. And if you know any Texas runners who you think should have their story told on this podcast, please let me know by sending me an email to throughtheirstride@gmail.com. Thank you so much, and I'll see you on the next episode.